Hello, Brian here from quantlabs.net. I want to show you a very quick way to build the GSL DLLs from within an older version of Visual Studio. This is the URL that you need to be worried about on quantcode.com, but do realize it is a requirement for building the pairs trade or pair stock finder, and this is how you go about it. It took me a very long time to figure this out because this seems to be antiquated documentation, was not updated for Visual Studio 2010. I'm going to show you the differences between that and using something like Visual 2008. So be aware that you do need Visual 2008. 2005, I can't download it currently, but you can still get Visual Studio 2008. I'll leave it to you to get it, but you do need it. I wouldn't recommend using Visual Studio 2010 just due to the fact of what I'll show you in a little bit. Unless you're an advanced Visual Studio guy and you can go through all this GSL project code, be my guest and let me know how to fix that for Visual Studio 2010. I'd be gladly to post it for anybody else that wants to use 2010 versus 2008. Anyways, this is the source where you grab your GSL source code from SourceForge. So you download it from there. Now you cannot get 2005 Visual Studio 2005 anymore. You can only get 2008, but you can still do this in 2008. So obviously you launch your Visual Studio, in my case 2008. Now the other big key thing is make sure, just to save yourself a hell of a lot of pain and headaches, download everything into this subdirectory, downloads off your main drive C, let's say. You'll save yourself a hell of a lot of headaches. But again, if you want to go wild, go for it. But I just follow instructions explicitly. So in this case, I've got my solution file open in the Visual Studio. This is it here. It does build, as you can see here, but this is why you need 2008. Typically, what I've done was in here in your debug DLL, out of the gate, when you download from the SourceForge, this folder is not created. So what you can do is you can build everything, but you'll still get some errors. Okay, so the order is correct. Okay, so you can do all this stuff, do a build, and it will create these folders once you do your first build. Okay, so again, you do a build all these files, or sorry, all these folders, your debug DLL and your debug DLL for both the lib GSL and the lib GSL CBLAS subprojects will be created doing this initial build. So what you need to do then is you need to follow again, I can't stress, Visual 2008. You cannot do this in Visual 2010. I'm sure it can be done. Don't ask me. I'm not an expert in Visual Studio 2010, nor do I have the time. I just want to build a DLL. So this is what I've done. Because of this specification, under your tools options, under here, so if you come under tools options, you'll have this project solution VC++ directories. Make sure that you include both the DLL, debug DLL folders in this, which one was it? Executable files, okay? So make sure you do include these. It is in the instructions, okay, here, right? So follow that and for show directories, okay? And then you need to put it under executable files right here, okay? Let me show you that. Select executable files, okay? So you've done that. And then you do your include file, which you can do with Visual Studio 2010 from here on out. But it's this step where you can seem to only do it in Visual 2008. I was not able to do a successful build and create a DLL without this step in 2010, but I'm sure there's a way to do it. I just don't know the configurations for it. I haven't looked at C++ in a while, but again, using the 2008, I was able to do this step, which I just showed you. So you come back in, you select now include files, and here you go. So include this directory, okay? It's the instructions right here, simple. And then you come under your library files, boom, and there you go, your debug DLL. Okay? And you also need to include one more, which obviously is this one as well. So you need to include both, and then you do another build. And what you'll find is, let's say in your debug DLL, you will then get your lib. Let me just. You will get your lib GSL debug version DLL created, as well as under your libc blast DLL. Let me just show you that. Here it is. Okay, so that second build will create these. Now, if you come under, let's say, do a release mode, it will create the proper DLL for that as well. So now you have a release mode of that DLL, as well as the same for the libgsl under your release mode. So those are the tricks that I've learned to get it working. I'm hoping that will help you out. And there's your DLSL. But as I said, these literal tricks can be done. But again, only in Visual Studio 2008, not 2010. Anybody knows how to do that little step right here? For the include directories, let me know. I'd be very interested to know where I am missing the step for Visual Studio 2010. Hopefully it'll help you out. Talk to you later.